In this video, I'm featuring a project that I completed about 3 years ago, and it's a accent wall that I did in a bedroom. It's the wall that the bed's on, so the headboard's in front of it, and it's kind of a log cabin look. You can see behind me here. This was a blank painted wall. Before I started, I wanted to add something more to it, and so I had this idea. So I'll go over some of the details with that and show you how I completed the project. So I'll give you a close up here at the logs. These are red oak, and you can see they kind of have a live edge to them. They also have a little bit of a rough sawn texture, but they're not completely rough sawn. You can see the waves in them from the sawmill. So first of all, where did I get the material? Well, I went on Marketplace, and there's a gentleman near me who's just a one-man operation. He has a little sawmill he got from his grandfather. He had a barn full of wood that he had listed. I ended up getting a sycamore slab for Spencer, the Sprinter project, from the same guy about a year later. Anyways, this red oak he had cut down about 4 or 5 years earlier and had it drying in his barn, just leaning up. So I was able to go through and kind of pick the pieces that I needed. So I knew the length of my wall and I knew how much height I needed. So that was just a matter of getting the right pieces, picking out what I wanted. And these were all from the same tree, so they're somewhat uniform in thickness and of course in the length of them too. And it wasn't overly expensive. I think I paid $120 for these wood slabs. So I thought that was very reasonable. Probably spent about 3 days on this project, cutting everything down to size, sanding it, getting it placed, fitting the top and bottom pieces. They were the trickiest. And I'll show you some other details that I did as I put these up. Okay, so again, if we look at a close-up, we can see how the live edges are not uniform. So, you know, there's only a finger width here, and it gets wider down here. So those were all fitted into place. So I had to stack them, see how the curves fit together, and what would be the best order from bottom to top. In the spaces in between, you can see that there's an uneven white, it looks like chinking. Try to get a close-up on that. You can see I didn't put it on perfectly smooth. I did that intentionally. So I didn't want a perfectly smooth finish. I wanted to have kind of a log cabin chinking look to it. And the material I ended up using for that, I looked into actual chinking. It's really expensive to buy that. So I bought tile thin set, pre-mixed in a bucket. And I used a little margin trowel and a little pointing trowel that I had for masonry to put that in there and just tool it out a little bit. And it turned out pretty nice. So I'll show you about how thick I put that on. You can see at the edge here. It's probably about 1/8 of an inch thick. And then for this edge of the wall, I have these rounded bullnose corner beads in my house. So I basically put a tape line down here and just ran everything to that edge. And then I routed this edge of the logs on the wall. You can see they're about 1.25 inches thick or so. To get this finish, I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but there's a little bit of a sheen on this. So I belt sanded the rough sawn wood, and I tried to leave the saw marks in. So I didn't belt sand it completely smooth. I wanted it to remain rustic looking. So I kept the belt sanding just to a minimum to smooth it a little bit for basically, like if you need to dust this or clean this off, it's nice if it's not really rough. So I smoothed it out a little bit, and then I put 1 coat of matte finish polyurethane on all the boards. including on the edges. Some of them I still left a good bit of the bark on, others have it completely removed. And here is a look at the completed project.